Thank you very much, Francis. So, would know now that 2 people have been confirmed dead in New Hanover area of KwaZulu-Natal's Midlands after a tornado ripped through the area yesterday. Homes were destroyed, trees were uprooted and roads were flooded. So one of the badly affected areas there is the Mpolweni, which is northeast of Pietermaritzburg. My colleague Simpiwe Makanya is there for us this evening. Simpiwe, a very good evening to you. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Could you just describe to us the situation in, Mpolweni this evening? It's quite dark outside now, but is there any relief that has come for these families who are so devastated by these extreme weather conditions?
Evening to you, Griselda, and good evening to the viewers at home. Well, certainly, as you have just alluded, the situation here on the ground is quite dire. When we arrived here, Griselda, it was even difficult to drive as the roads were just wet. The heavy rains that affected this area with the tornado yesterday wreaked quite a number or quite a sizable amount of havoc, where we saw hundreds, almost 1,000, in fact, homes being destroyed. The KwaZulu-Natal government has just released a statement later this evening saying that the extent of the damage is still being assessed, but what they do know at the moment is that about 1,000 people have been affected, and many of those who have been affected, Griselda, have been left homeless. Where we are coming to you live from a community church where it is basically housing about 9 or so people who were affected by these recent heavy rains together with a tornado yesterday. But with me, Griselda, I've got quite a few of them who are going to be explaining the situation on the ground as we see it today. Ma asikubingelele sikwamukele indabeni bese sibukakhulu ngesikhathi sakho. Awusichazele ma ukuthi kwenzekeni umuzi wakho ulimali kangakanani ngesikhathi kwenzeka konke lokho izolo.
Futhi izolo imini yantambama kade sihleli edining room lana kakhulu la nomoya lithema liba nomoya sangena endlini savala mase sivalile sisahleli ngaphakathi kusho ukuthi bese ngisukuma mina ngiye ekamereni ngothatha ijezi uma ngise ekamereni kwafika isikhwishi esikhulu somoya okugoqana uthayila ngangabona ukuthi kwenzakalani ngezwe kulidli mangithi ngiyaphuma ekamereni ngibheka ngale dining room ukuthi yini lewayo ngafica ewila ama blocks uthayela usekho kukhona untombazana omunye besihleli naye obesegqitwe osofa nama blocks ahlala phezulu kwakhe ukuthi ngazama ke ngoba bemanga emakhulu ukuwaphushela phansi mase ngiwaphushile wazama ukuphuma ke ngumbhacu loyo omncane uthe sephumile kwasho ukuthi lo ungaphakathi la maye kwayekona ukuthi akekho umuntu enginaye ngoba bengakafiki umuntu nawo omakhelwane kade bese nezinkinga nabo ngathi ngiyazama ngidudula ama blocks ukuthi dawa ngaduduleka ngazama kwaze kwabe kuyanqamuka imvula kwayimabeza komakhelwane sekunqamuka imvula ke bazongisiza ke.
Njengamanje ma ukuhleli la esontweni lomphakathi unale ekhaya kwenzakalani ngempilo yakho nomndeni wakho?
Ikhaya likhona ila kuhlala khona umfana wami omdala njengamanje.
Well, basically, Griselda, what she's explaining is how the whole process unfolded. Basically saying that when it started to rain yesterday, everything was quick. Within a blink of an eye, she suddenly saw the roof of her house caving in, as well as the wall collapsing. But with me, Griselda, I've also got another a resident who was badly affected. As you can see, she's also injured. Ma asikubingelele nawo masikwamukele indabeni bese sithi le mvula enamandla ehambisana nomoya ikhahlamezeke kanjani wena?
Imvula efika izolo kufika ishingishane nje sathatha udonga lonke kwawa konke ama blocks awela phezukwethu no tile konke nje konke nezinto amakhabethe konke nje kwawela kuthini. Sazama ukuphuma ke nathi kancane nganyomula nezingane kwaze saphuma ke sahamba. nje akho lutho endlini ngoba ngishiya ingubo ziphephukile sihamba sithola ngakunye okhalweni makwenzeka asitholi lutho nje ngoba ngisho kwengane zesikole akho ngishoni asinalutho nje okusendlini.
Ma ithimba lahulumeni like lafika namhlanje la endaweni lizohlola umonakalo mhlasimbe kukhona esenikuzwile ngokuthi uhulumeni khona akuthembisayo?
Asazi usithembisile kona ukuthola ingubo lezi nje sitholile nendawo yokuhlala nje asihleli lana lokhu ke namatende ke kuthiwa singase siwathola asazi ke kodwa phela.
Ma, thank you very much for your time. Basically, Griselda, she is basically saying that it's going to be difficult for them to rebuild their homes, to rebuild their lives, as many of them have lost basically everything from their clothes to their furniture, as well as the houses that they own. Ma, nawe singakuvaleli ngaphandle sizwe ukuthi wena njengesakhamusa la empolweni Hlasimbe uthi lemvula ikhahlambezeke kangani?
Hayi inikhathlamezile lemvula ngangoba lihlukumezekile emoyeni wami kakhulu. Angazi noba ndizophila ngendlela endiyona izizwe egazini ukuthi igazi lami manje linteke ngendlela endihlukumezeke ngayo ngoba lo moya ufike wasibulala kakhulu. Sibaninzi thina sibhubhile asinamizi imizi ayikho. Abantu bahlela emizini abantu njengoba sihlela phandle silele apha asinazi indawo zokulala ngoba kumkile uphahla kwawa indonga kwahlikihle kwangathi azange kubekho kwamuzi nithumuzi weblocks owakhiwe ngeblocks akwakhwanga ngadaka apha imvamisa abantu bakhe ngeblocks kodwa ndikutshela ukuthi iblocks liphansi lonke lihlikihlekile awungathi nje kwakhiwe ngodaka uphahla laze kuthayela usakwazi ukubuyela ngoba ayikho kwayindlela ongabuyisela ngawo ngoba ugoqene ngalendlela ngathi impela ubushaya ngesando wagoqana futhi ungeke uphezulu kwemithi uhleli phezulu kwemithi uphezulu kwezihlahla nje wazi nje kuyinto nje ungayazi bondekile nje sihlele ngokusikhosele nezingane njengoba sikhosi lapha ingane sizicelela emizini yabantu ngoba ngeke sikwazi ukuzohlala nazo lapha sihlukumezeke kakhulu ngalendlela angazi njengoba nami ndihlele apha nje ukuthi mina njengoba ngingumuntu nje ophila lenhlobo endiyiphilayo ngoba ndiphila ngale grant akho umuntu asebenza ukwami ukuthi ukuze kubuyele lokuphahla lo ubuyela mhla zingaki mhla kwenzekeni ukuze nikwazi ukuhlala phansi kwalolu phahla lami angazi uNkulunkulu waziyo.
Basically, Griselda, she is saying that it's going to be extremely difficult for many of them to start the process of rebuilding their homes. She's one of the victims, in fact, who lost almost everything that she owned. She finds herself here, spending the night, or the second night rather, in this community church, and she doesn't know where she will go tomorrow, as this is just a temporary arrangement. But when the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Sihle Zikalala, arrived here, he promised that government will do all that is possible to try and intervene. But when we arrived here, we also saw NGOs such as Gift of the Givers handing out food parcels, clothes, as well as mattresses. At the moment, Griselda, what the provincial government is saying in terms of the death toll is that it is standing at 14. If you count from the month of October up to today, since the heavy rains started affecting the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Griselda?
Of great concern, I can see the grief on the faces of these women who I doubt will get any rest this evening. I see they have got blankets around their shoulders. Have they eaten? They've already said they've had to take their children to those whose homes managed to survive the havoc. What is the situation there? Have they eaten? And as you look outside, I know it's a bit too dark for you to go through with the video journalist, but describe to us what's happening outside, and when will some kind of assistance be given to the affected individuals?
Griselda, when we arrived here this evening, essentially, we saw quite a number of homes without their roofs. We saw quite a number of damage in terms of the infrastructure that is within the community of this community where we come from, Griselda. The situation basically is quite dire. And as I've also said, that organizations such as the Gift of the Givers and some church organizations have already arrived here when we arrived to actually try and assist these victims by providing them with the blankets, food, mattresses as well. When we arrived here, basically in this hall, some of them were having their dinner. There's no electricity. It's extremely dark. This is just a chaotic situation, Griselda.
Simpiwe, from what you're saying is that the provincial government has said it will offer some kind of assistance. But the immediate situation at the moment, it is quite dark out there where you are. I'm only seeing women who are sitting with you there. Obviously, children have been sent elsewhere. But is there any indication what will happen by morning? Brick houses seem to have collapsed in this havoc, as one of Abomama was telling you just a few moments ago.
Certainly, Griselda. What the provincial government is saying is that they are still in the process of assessing the extent of the damage, and also to try and see what it is that they are going to do to try and intervene. But the emergency intervention has been the provision of what you can see on my right here. These are mattresses. Some of the also tents have been erected around the area to try and provide some form of accommodation for those who would prefer actually using them. But basically, Griselda, the situation is quite dire. Also, the South African Weather Services earlier on today issued a statement saying that more rain is expected in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
So I guess the concern would be, would those tents then be able to sustain what the weather service is predicting at this stage? Is there any indication perhaps that a nearby community hall such as the one where you are now would be provided if there is any further damage that is caused by what the weather service is currently predicting?
It's difficult, Griselda, because I'll tell you why. Where we are in this church, part of it is basically damaged. So the small room that you see is the one that is perhaps usable for community members to come and perhaps spend the night here. But the structure itself is partially damaged. So certainly tents and marquees will not be sufficient to actually house those who have been left homeless, Griselda.
Just before we wrap up, Simpiwe, obviously no schooling taking place in that particular area. Has any provision been made, for example, for school-going children, to perhaps somewhere else nearby to get the education going? Because from what we can see there with the blankets and the tents that you've just showed us now, the situation, I cannot even begin to describe it.
Well, what we have been told, Griselda, by some of the victims who are affected by this heavy rain is that the children have been accommodated within the community, where you find that maybe the neighbor was not so affected as much. So you would find that those children, school-going children, have been accommodated there. But also, Griselda, in terms of the death toll, the province of KwaZulu-Natal is saying that it is standing at 14 at the moment, and the assessment is still continues to try and see exactly how many people are still missing.
All right, thank you very much indeed for your time this evening. Simpiwe Makhanya coming to us live from a church there where you see some people have been housed as a result of the devastating weather conditions that have really wreaked havoc. And that particular area where he is in Mbonweni is one of the badly affected areas. The Gift of the Givers and some other organizations also bringing in some tents, some food and some blankets to assist those. Our reporters unable to broadcast outside at this stage because obviously it is quite dark now. There is no electricity there, but a truly dire situation. Our reporters will continue to be on the ground there from several areas that have been affected, as the Weather Service is also predicting that these horrible weather conditions will continue, Francis.